Well, I saw it, and I have to say, I've got a few hot takes for this movie. Number one, it is the best Shrek franchise movie ever made. Number two, it is the best DreamWorks movie ever made. Number three, it is the best animated film I have ever seen. Number four, it is potentially the best film I have ever seen. Holy crap, DreamWorks did the impossible. Made a sequel that is better than the first Puss in Boots, which was my favorite movie. I think this one is now. It is so freaking good on every single level. So let's dive right into my thoughts on the movie. First of all, the visuals, absolutely stunning. Every single second of this movie felt so amazing visually. I was blown away, especially every single fight sequence and every sequence involving Wagner Moore's Big Bad Wolf. So freaking stunning. I just could not even believe it. And the stylistic aspect of the film, just it improves the film as a whole by such a long way. There are scenes where, because it's so stylized, the camera's moving all over the place. You can feel the tension in these scenes and the stakes in the movie. It just really adds to it to make it such a freaking fantastic movie. Like, I saw it yesterday, and I am just still in awe today. I'm still trying to process what I saw, because it is so freaking good. And also the acting. Antonio Banderas gives his best voice performance I have ever heard. Especially because we are seeing a side of Puss that is finally feeling fear. Antonio Banderas absolutely nails it. There is so many new layers to Puss's character. There is fear in his voice at certain moments. There is desperation. There is sadness. And all of this culminates into just an absolutely mind-blowingly good voice performance for Antonio Banderas. Salma Hayek also gives her best voice performance, way better than she was in the first movie, and she was amazing in the first movie, but this movie, her voice acting chops are really shown off. She just absolutely knocks it out of the park, and Kitty Softpaws, her character arc is absolutely amazing, and Salma Hayek just brings so much emotion and life to the role, especially in her scenes with Antonio Banderas and their pairing as a relationship. More on that in a minute. And then the newcomers, Harvey Guillen is Pero. To be honest, going into this movie, I was expecting to be a little annoyed by Pero, but I wasn't at all. He absolutely knocked it out of that park. He is going to become probably one of the greatest Shrek characters to ever be in the franchise. He adds so much humor and warmth to the scenes that he is in, and I loved literally every second he was in the movie and reacting to certain situations with Puss and Kitty. And he also acts as, to guide Puss and Kitty along their character arcs, and he is just so good in the movie. And by the way, guys, this is I didn't mention this before, but this is a fully spoiler-free review. I will hint at some things, but I'm not going to spoil anything so that you guys can be surprised for those of you that didn't see the screening yesterday. And next up we got Florence Pugh as Goldilocks. It's Florence Pugh's first time doing voice acting, as she is a rising star in Hollywood. Absolutely amazing. She is so talented in the voice booth. She really brings this character some new life that the story of Goldilocks has never had. And the family dynamic between her and the three bears, played by Samson Kayo, Ray Winstone, Olivia Colman, just absolutely beautiful. I do feel like it's not a negative necessarily, but they do spend a little too much time on the relationship between Goldilocks and the three bears when they should have been focusing on Puss, Kitty, and Pero. But I mean, every character in this film gets their moments, and it just makes it a really great film. They also put some thought into these background characters and not just providing no exposition for why they're there or why they want the wish. And then Jack Horner is the standout. Everybody in my family loved him. he is so freaking funny, and he's actually in the film a great deal more than you would expect. I'd say the villain we see the least of is the wolf until the final battle, because he's just kind of popping up randomly. Big Jack Horner, we see a ton of him throughout this movie, and every scene he's in is just so funny. John Mulaney provides some of the best voice acting I've ever heard in a DreamWorks movie. Just so fantastic. And obviously we cannot forget Wagner Moura, who is just absolutely terrifying as the Big Bad Wolf. He is the scariest DreamWorks villain we have ever seen. He plays his role with so much emotion put into the character, and he really comes across, as this very eerie, mysterious Reaper character. Just absolutely fantastic. Every scene with the Big Bad Wolf is so freaking mind-blowingly amazing, both in terms of the visual aspect, and they really nail the close-ups so that you can see both how terrifying the wolf really is and how Puss is responding to the wolf's appearances. He starts to become really afraid in certain moments, and all his fur sticks up on edge, his eyes go really wide, and that's where the stylistic aspect in this film really just absolutely knocks it out of the freaking park. Also, just honorable mentions, Anthony Mendez and Divine Joy Randolph. They both give really good performances as the doctor / barber and Mama Luna, but they're not in the film for a super long time, so can't really say much past that other than that they provide a few great humorous moments. But onto the story itself. So basically, if you have been living under a rock since this film was announced, basically what happens is that Puss is living the life of a rock star. The film opens with him singing a musical number, throwing a party for all these villagers in the town of Del Mar. He is absolutely living it up, and then he defeats his mountain giant, and a belt crushes him. He dies, and the Anthony Mendez played doctor tells him that he is on his last life out of his 9 lives. We get a really good death montage of how he lost all these lives, including Gingy from Shrek, as Puss gets lit on fire by an oven. That was so freaking funny, and it's just absolutely brilliant from there. Basically, he has to retire because he's on his last life, and then he finds out that there is a wishing star that will grant one wish to whoever can find it, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna wish for my lives back. So he's going off to get the wish, joined by Kitty Softpaws when he reunites with her, and of course Perito. And just also the locations in this movie are so visually stunning. That's where the painterly style really aids the movie in being absolutely great. And they go through all these different locations, because this isn't really a spoiler, but what the map does is that every different person, it maps out a different path based on the content of their character, and they are taken on all these different journeys to find the wishing star. And those are just so great. We get to see some really happy, cheerful locations, and then we get to see a lot of dark locations. And also, this movie is brimming with fairy tale references and pop culture references like the other Shrek films. You've got Alice in Wonderland, Jack Horner references Wizard of Oz, obviously the original nursery rhyme of Big Jack Horner. Just all these different fairy tale elements that really give the film an extra spark of creativity. I freaking love those. And then, what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but my favorite part of this movie by far was Puss and Kitty's relationship dynamic in this movie. Oh my gosh, my 4-year-old self was crying inside, because Puss and Kitty, when we start off this movie, they are not in a good place with their relationship. When Puss and Kitty reunite, he gets kicked in the face, and it's just a great character arc for their relationship, to see it progress throughout the movie and see them kind of fall back in love again after this this incident in their past that divided them and broke both their hearts, and it's just, I can't say more about that, but when it happened, I was like, no, this can't be happening to Puss and Kitty. But they fall back in love through this movie, and it is just so fun to watch them grow, and so sweet. There's so many moments that they're callbacks to the original movie, their relationship in the original movie. There's so many sweet moments between them that I was just in my seat just smiling like every time they got a romantic moment on screen, and it is so beautiful. It is the most beautiful romantic relationship I've ever seen in a movie, and I cannot wait to see this film again, mainly for that aspect. And the final battle, I'm not gonna spoil anything, obviously. That was really well done, especially visually. There are a few twists and turns that happened before that, and those were done really well. There's one twist, it's the main twist of the movie, that's pretty predictable, but it still gets the job done, and it's just really creative, and it's the perfect ending for the movie. And also, I know I'm gonna get asked this, I think I already have been, but everybody is wanting to know, is Shrek in it? Is Shrek in it? Have they teased Shrek 5 yet? Well, I can't say much, but I will say that things happen, and you will not expect them, because they are kind of teasing something throughout the movie, and I can't really give much away as to whether Shrek is in the movie or not, but let's just say that he, you know, his presence is felt. That's what I'm gonna say, and they definitely do set something else up, and it does not come when you expect. It is there's one scene where you see something, but it's barely on screen. It's a blink and you'll miss it, and it was done so tastefully. Like, this movie still stands outside the Shrek films, but it was done really tastefully, and does potentially set something up, but it also stands alone as just an amazing Puss in Boots movie. So that is my review of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.